Now, with Brian Wilson live in Charlotte, this is Common Sense coverage of the Democratic National Convention with Brian and Brian, sponsored by the Media Research Center. 105.9 FM and AM 630. WMAL.
Good morning, everybody. 37 minutes past the hour. Brian Wilson in Charlotte. Brian Neiman holding down the fort in D.C. We are joined here in Charlotte in the flesh. I'm not kidding. I actually am laying eyes on him here, Brian.
Really?
We are joined by senior White House correspondent for ABC News, Jake Tapper. Jake, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
We're doing very well. Okay, so we want to get two things out of you right off the bat. How you think it went last night with Michelle Obama as the keynote speaker. And then we have tonight, we affectionately call him Bubba. Bill Clinton takes the stage.
The big dog.
The big dog. So tell me how it went last night and what you expect tonight.
You have an arena of 12,000 Obama fans and Michelle Obama fans, and they seem to love her. I thought her speech was, it is amazing how effective both Michelle Obama and Ann Romney are just as public speakers. It's not easy to do. Last night we saw plenty of seasoned governors, senators, others give speeches that were not particularly well delivered. And then you have somebody like Michelle Obama, who's a very good public speaker. I thought she was effective. Her main goal was to convey to voters that even if they don't necessarily agree with everything President Obama has done, he understands their world, he understands their concerns, their fears, he's of them, he's from the middle class, and trying to make them understand and appreciate his motivations. He's trying to help them. And drawing some subtle contrasts, or not so subtle, I guess, in some cases, with Mitt Romney. Without mentioning Mitt Romney by name, she talked about Obama, her husband, being a guy who doesn't measure success in terms of how much money he makes, but rather how many people he's helped, that sort of thing. So I thought it was an effective speech. I thought Ann Romney's speech last week was effective, but ultimately I don't think it will mean a whole lot in terms of the election.
All right, so President Clinton speaks tonight. And here's my question to you. What is the relationship like between Barack Obama and Bill Clinton?
I think it's a cordial, professional relationship. I don't think they're especially close. Former presidents are seldom close with current occupants of the office. It's usually that post-presidency club where they get together and Jimmy Carter and Gerald Ford,
right,
putting aside their old fights and becoming friends, or George H.W. Bush and Bill Clinton becoming friends. It's and obviously Obama and Bill Clinton have a history. Obama beat his wife, and he wanted her to win the nomination more than anything, and he beat her. And in some ways he beat her by running against him. So there are obviously some tensions. I think they've probably, for the most part, dissipated, but I don't think they're ever going to be best friends.
One hears that the Obama camp has not had the opportunity to thoroughly vet the Bill Clinton speech.
I would find that hard to believe, but I also think it's fair to say that Bill Clinton is a guy, like Barack Obama, who is constantly writing and rewriting and writing and rewriting his speech up until the moment he delivers it. I remember during the Clinton years, Bill Clinton he did that with the State of the Union address one time, and the same is true with Barack Obama. One of the reasons often, Brian, when we're reporting on a State of the Union speech or a big speech and we're waiting for the White House to give us excerpts.
Right. We
often don't get them until very late, if at all, with the Obama White House, and one of the reasons is Barack Obama is fine-tuning that speech up until the very end.
So he rolls into town, I guess, later today, I think it is, or tomorrow?
Bill Clinton?
No, Barack Obama.
I believe Barack Obama arrives tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. And then
today. I think he arrives. He arrives today.
Later today.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the big blowout over at the Bank of America Stadium, or is it going to be moved?
I asked Jim Messina, the Obama campaign manager, that yesterday, and he said that they'll be there rain or shine. The only reason they wouldn't be there is if it was dangerous, so if there were a lightning storm, but rain won't be enough. It will have to be. I think that the forecast is 40% chance of rain.
That's what I saw.
We should be okay. We should be okay.
Did you think that the speech, the the purpose of the speech last night for Michelle Obama was almost the same as the purpose for Ann Romney, and that is to humanize her husband and to also appeal to women. I mean, it was the same speech with different words with the same goal in mind. Is that accurate, you think, Jake?
I mean, I think it's a little bit more complicated. People have a relationship with Barack Obama, so they don't need to have anybody verify or validate that there are those who love him. People know him and his wife and his daughters by now. I think it was a little bit more. She wanted to give a glimpse of what motivates his decisions. Even if you don't support the health care legislation, know that his mom's battle with cancer is what was motivating him, that sort of thing. But, yeah, I mean, on one level, to appeal to women voters is important, and Barack Obama, in a new ABC News Washington Post poll,
right,
he's actually underwater with women voters. Now, that we haven't seen that replicated in other polls, so it's possible that it's an outlier, this poll. But either way, it definitely demonstrates that he's not doing as well with women as he needs to be doing.
I mean, part of my continual discussion about this campaign season has been is that a lot of people locked in fairly early and decided that they were either for Obama or against him, and so that the numbers sort of got, locked in very early, and there's only a small number of people. Are they getting the message that they need here at the Democratic Convention, from their perspective, to persuade those small sliver of undecided voters?
I don't know. I mean, that small sliver, you're right. They're the 5 to 10% who are undecided, who haven't made up their minds yet. There are just a few thousand people in a half a dozen battleground states. Excuse me. But they're also trying to do more than that. They're trying to, rally, for instance, key demographic groups, trying to get young people out to vote, trying to get Latinos out to vote. And those are very, very important groups that they need to be motivated, that are, anecdotally right now not as motivated as they were 4 years ago.
All right, ABC's Jake Tapper. It's a pleasure to talk to you in person, even though I'm not there. At least you're next to Wilson. Thank you very much.